I think at this point, our clients have all accepted online video as a replacement for normal video, either spot TV or national or whatever that would be. It's accepted. Having said that, there are huge challenges still with certainly with viewability, as you mentioned, but also around just what exactly they're getting. I think they like the idea of it's better than some national TV in terms of second screen viewing. You assume that there's less second screen viewing, there's less second screen distractions. But I think there's challenges with what are they actually buying? How is it actually measured? What are the different measurement paths in terms of both demo guarantees versus just viewability in general? Are they getting what they've been promised? Is this a way for us to just lower their overall CPMs, or is this really a way to deliver the same value they've gotten on TV?
So what about the question of fraud? Is that on the minds of many people? Is it sort of just sort of insiders, or is it, what do you think?
I would say of our top, especially our large clients that are spending above $20 million a year in online video, we have quite a few of them. It's a huge factor for them. You know, when they've seen certain tests where they've moved money from online to online video, they've seen great success. And other tests where it didn't go well, and was it because of creative, or was it because that what they were promised they didn't receive? And that's one of the things that I think we're seeing now that clients are questioning. Now, before they would test it and assume it was a creative issue, they assume it was something else. Where it is. I mean, we've been seeing reports from a number of different sources. There's different types of veracity to those in terms of a telemetry or a Vendico, or what it would be, and we are seeing misses, and we're certainly seeing things run outside of the demo. So that is certainly those two things are big issues for clients, especially large package goods clients have been used to a very, very regimented media. They have a really strong media mix model that requires everything to run smoothly. It doesn't run smoothly, it affects their model.
So David, what would you tell publishers and content creators who are pitching you and they, who are creating original video? What do they need to do? What does the industry need to do?
Well, I think consistency. I think one of the challenges is it's harder and harder for us to say what is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier. We all create these tiers. And for high quality video, we'll say it's tier 1. If it's original content that's produced by a network, it's not more valuable than something that's produced by Yahoo or by YouTube. So it's user generated or it's not. I would say that the most important thing is real consistency on content and investment in content. We've seen it work on a number of different places. I don't think the networks have got it wrong. I think that the amount of what they've gone through, the pilot seasons, things like that, they produce really strong content. I think for an online video producer, it's how do you produce similar content. That's what consumers want. It's the people will find quality content. People found House of Cards. People found a number of different shows that they really enjoyed. Never mind some of these YouTube superstars who have done nothing and have 50 million views. So I think there's certainly it's about content, and I think from a client perspective is from an online producer, if you have a niche, it's a little bit easier. I think when you have a niche and you're able to really produce great content, if there's a Condé Nast produces content around beauty, or if it's ESPN around sports, whatever it is, you have that niche, it allows you to have a much better focus. I think some of the broad-based providers have struggled with that. When they don't have a niche where they can produce that, and they're just trying to pulling stuff together. And if you really look at what the cable networks did, and even 20 years ago, was they really had some niches around CNN, around news, what Turner originally was, and as that kept going, the ones that are successful today have a really strong niche that they're able to kind of build off of, and then they've expanded beyond that niche. As we're getting ready for Con, certainly programmatic is probably the biggest word out there, and I think that there's a bit of confusion around exactly what that is. It sounds great. We're going to be able to automate all these things. It's going to be cheaper. We're only going to buy what we want to buy. But I think that needs to be a better understanding. I think one of the things we're looking for is to feel like after Con, probably after CES next year, I really understand programmatic. I think very similar to how we talked about DSPs, where we take this, we retarget, we do certain things. This is a great way to kind of understand programmatic. I think we now get that. We understand what ad networks do, how we're able to look at inventory and then package it using, first and third party data to then target. I think around programmatic is a little bit more confusing. So I think as we I look at the client's needs, certainly programmatic is a big one. The next one is going to be transparency. I think coming out of the ANA finance stuff, 2 weeks ago, that was certainly there. You're seeing articles on Ad Age about it. I think that the client transparency is certainly going to be a big hot topic for clients.
What do you mean about, how does that?
Well, as they're seeing, so I think as we're seeing transparency, they're looking for transparency on all of our different DSP products. They're looking for transparency across a number of different places. And we're sort of looking at, is that from a financial model on our side, or from just them seeing the full transparency of the buy from an ad network? What are they exactly getting? So there's certain, certainly driving down CPMs is really important, but I think some clients are, well, we drove down the CPMs to this $2 thing, it's just fantastic, but what are we actually getting in this buy? What is actually in this, what are we actually getting? And I do think we'll see a swing back towards some more transparency in order to see exactly what they're getting. Certainly as they do tests and see what things worked and didn't work, without transparency, it's very difficult to see those things.